Okay, we're looking at a TV guide from October of 1986. You remember when they brought this kid on Family Ties, one of the later seasons? Let's get into this. 1986. So this would have been fall. I'm assuming most of the new shows would be on now. High noon noun for political mudslingers. Alrighty. Sometimes they would run some strange articles in some of these. Yeah, they would usually feature an article about some movie or something that was coming on. So this is some Masterpiece Theater thing. World Series in 86. Who won it in 86? Was it the Tigers? Kim Morgan. She kind of looks familiar. All right. We got Robin Givens from a show called Head of the Class. Yeah. I wonder how long that show lasted. It seems like it didn't stay on too long, but it was really good and popular. Soaps, Cheers and Jeers. They're cheersing Johnny. They're jeersing CBS for showing a movie about a madam. Check out this contest, this light beer contest. How great is that? $100,000 bottoms up sweepstakes. Check out, this is a great ad for Sleeping Beauty. Any Sleeping Beauty fans out there? I recently watched this movie for the first time. It's really good. Better than a lot of the popular ones in my opinion. Great villain. Great animation, of course. Top selling music videos. What does that mean? Oh, I guess on VHS, but ones that are only music. Whitney Houston, #1 video hits. Ultimate Ozzy. Genesis Live, the Mama Tour. I bet that's pretty good. Got some Sears appliances here. Yeah, this is interesting, the Nielsen ratings. I don't know if this became a regular thing or not, but let's see what's the top of the ratings. First week of the new season. Oh, okay. So maybe that's why they're doing it. So new season in 1986, Cosby's still on top, Family Ties, Cheers, Dallas. I didn't realize Dallas was that popular. That's kind of sad. Golden Girls, wow. Moonlighting, Murder, She Wrote, Who's the Boss, Amen. Dynasty, Head of the Class. Sledgehammer, wow. I wonder if Sledgehammer was new. I think it might have been new in 1986. So some of these, it might have been like people checking it out for the first time. I think Head of the Class and Sledgehammer were new. I could be wrong about that. Here are the movies that are on the pay channels for this week. Agnes of God. Good movie. Fletch. Heavenly Kid. I never saw that movie. Pretty popular back in the 80s. This Jagged Edge with Glenn Close kind of rings a bell. Remo Williams. Hopefully you all know that one. Teen Wolf was great. Alright, this is a TV guy from the Michigan area. Saturday morning, 1986. Some show called Kid Bits. Laser Tag Academy cartoon. And Bernstein Bears cartoon was good in the mid-80s. That's the first ad I've seen for that. That actually looks decent. Has a little bit of an anime flavor to it. Never saw that. I guess I was watching like something else at the same time or something. Soul Train coming on. They're not telling us who's on it though. Teen Wolf's got his own cartoon in '86. Here are the full rosters for Iowa and Michigan football teams in '86. I don't think Desmond Howard would have been on the team yet. What position did he play? Oh well, might be on there, but I can't read them all. Saturday, Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestling Children's. I'm not sure what that was. I definitely never watched it. I don't know if it was a cartoon or what. Kid video. Love that cartoon. Kid with 2 D's if you're going to look it up. Wow, okay. Full lineup Saturday night. The World Series is going on, okay. 86. Yeah, I don't know why I can't think. Was it the Twins? Tigers? I can't remember. All right, Saturday night we got some show called Small Wonder. Was that one where it was like a little girl that was a robot? People like got mad about that or something later. Downtown, that doesn't ring a bell. New Mike Hammer and Twilight Zone. Life with Lucy. Heart of the City and Spencer for Hire. And yeah, maybe just a lot of channels in Michigan. I don't know. I don't know why it's so many. Well, it takes up the whole page. We should see some ads for some of those. Maybe we'll try to figure out what downtown, and maybe we'll try to see what that Small Wonder is. Advanced electronic dishwasher. Did you all have a dishwasher in '86? We didn't. Oh, there's downtown. Okay. Some kind of action type show. Oh, it doesn't tell us what Small Wonder is. You guys will have to Google it. We saw this in another one. Christina Applegate on some show before Married with Children. Might have been Heart of the City. They got them all combined. Yeah, Heart of the City. So that's definitely one to look up. Because who knew? I certainly didn't. World Series pregame. Maybe we'll see who's playing. Maybe they'll show us. Maybe they won't. Spencer for Hire. Yeah, it doesn't say. They may not have known, because it just says the winners of American National League, because they might not have known when this went to print who was going to be actually in it. And check this out. Rock Concert, the Prince Trust All-Star on HBO, Princess Diana. Elton John, Paul McCartney, Sting, Tina Turner, and more. That sounds pretty good if you had HBO. All right. Siskel and Ebert are reviewing one of my favorite movies, The Color of Money, along with Down by Law and Sid and Nancy. Sid and Nancy was pretty dark, but I liked it when I was a kid. Yeah, let's see who else is on. Mark Knopfler's on there. Rod Stewart. Yeah, I guess it was just a random rock concert they had on HBO. But I mean, all those acts would have been in their prime in the 80s, unlike now when they're still out there. Dancing to the Hits, Music City, USA. Gotta stay up real late to see those shows. Back Porch Video. I wonder what that is. Sunday Morning, 1986. Got Urban Voices on. We got Jim, cartoon. Columbo's coming on. Paper Moon, that's a good movie. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend. Got some dude named Daryl Rogers covering some sports up in Michigan. Lions at Rams. Yeah, that would be a Michigan game for sure. All right, Sunday night. Let's see what's going on. Murder, She Wrote. World Series again. What else? Disney movie. They might show us what it is, though. Maybe. Siskel and Ebert. Fantasy Island reruns. So much good stuff in the 80s. Even the reruns were good. Here's a Disney movie. That almost rings a bell. At least that kid does. Richest Cat in the World. Anybody remember for the Cat from Outer Space? Show of hands in the audience for who remembers that. I definitely do. That Voyager show was fun, in my opinion. R.I.P. that guy who was in it. John Eric Hexum, I think. Was he in it? Murder, She Wrote ad. Looking cool. What are we going to look for? Oh, the Disney movie. Yeah, it was that cat movie. Richest Cat in the World. Let's see if we recognize any of these names. We may not. Yeah, I don't recognize any of the names. Street Hawk. Sometimes the name alone sounds pretty awesome. Whoa, Of Pure Blood. Immoral Breeding Experiments. Immoral Breeding Experience. Sounds pretty heavy. Ordinary Heroes, Love Story, Sunday Night Movie, Valerie Bertinelli, Richard Dean Anderson. Never heard of that movie, but that sounds kind of cool. Definitely right in the 80s there. Valerie doing her thing. Let's see who else is in it. Of Pure Blood. Oh, that's the Of Pure Blood. It's a different one. Ordinary Heroes. No other big names that I recognize. Some show called Please Don't Let Me Die. What are they gonna? They gonna do a weekly show based on that? That's pretty wild. At the Movies. Rex Reed trying to be like Siskel and Ebert. They're reviewing Soul Man and Clockwise. I think Soul Man has been lost to for all time now. Rock and Roll Evening News. I think I saw that in another one of these TV guides. It'd probably be fun to look up on like YouTube or something. All right, Monday morning, My Little Pony will get you going. Heathcliff would be what I'd watch. Some cartoon called King Leonardo. Challenge of the GoBots. Wow, so much great stuff. I say it a lot, but just so much great stuff in the 80s. Inspector Gadget. Ghostbusters cartoon. Fraggle Rock if you got cable. Some show for children called Polka Dot Door. And they got He-Man going head to head against She-Ra. That's not even fair. All right, Monday night in 86. Kate and Allie, My Sister Sam, Newhart, Designing Women, Cagney and Lacey. Every one of those is a classic. Alf, Amazing Stories. MacGyver and Monday Night Football. So many good shows. Here we go. Check this out. What is this? Looks like maybe an after-school types. Yeah, school break special. Looks like a weird concept. What does it take to get a date? Do anything to turn the volume on Her Quiet World. That looks goofy. I recognize her, but not the other two. Yeah, here's that lineup we already saw. So great. MacGyver's got a pretty big ad. For some reason he's sitting there with a dog. Wonderful World of Disney, The Boy Who Talked to Badgers. Alf is on. This one, Joan Rivers had her talk show. She's talking to Run DMC. Gallagher, that's a weird dude, man. Do you guys know the story about Gallagher? Like, for years, his brother was actually out there, and it wasn't really him, it was his brother. It's pretty weird when you start doing stuff like that, in my opinion. How great is this ad? We love Deborah Winger. She keeps it real in all her movies, man. She brings real humanity. Cagney and Lacey. Don't see any guest stars that I recognize. Matt Houston. Where are my Matt Houston fans at? Yeah, even the reruns. You got Simon and Simon coming on. You got Benny Hill. So much good stuff. Very few channels, but plenty of entertainment, in my opinion. All right, so during the day, we've kind of already seen what's going on. Got new Southern Cooking with Natalie Dupree up in Michigan. Wait a minute, Southern Cooking in Michigan? I don't think that works. Mark Twain writes great about like people in the Northeast trying to emulate Southern food. I know Michigan's not in the Northeast, but he was like cracking on Connecticut or whatever. Mark Twain's known to crack on some people. Yeah, there's that school break special. Doesn't even tell us who's in it other than Mary Vreeland. Dee Dee Pfeiffer might be the one we recognize. All right, Tuesday night, 1986. We got The Wizard. We still got World Series. Who's the Boss? Growing Pains. Moonlighting. Jack and Mike. Pretty strong. I guess maybe this other channel is showing The Fifth Estate and He Shoots, He Scores. Might need more context on that. Another after school special. So I remember these being a few of these, but I guess they were really pumping these out in the 80s, which I don't necessarily remember. So we got one about a teen father. I think we try to bring out some things to discuss with the family. Now everybody just opens their phone when they're like 8 years old and learns everything. Yeah, here's that great lineup. They got the Moonlighting, but they got the other ones over here. I guess I've seen the Jack and Mike, but I've already forgotten what it is. Check her out. She's in the FBI. Johnny Mae Gibson, FBI. Man, that's a high concept. Is this actually a show? Or, oh, I think this is a movie. Okay, a Tuesday night movie. Lynn Whitfield, okay. All right, we got our first yokel Michigan newscaster spotting Marianne Strozier and Jim Kurtzner. Some difficult to pronounce names up there in the Michigan area. There's that He Shoots, He Scores drama. Pierre's continuing struggle with stardom leads him into a public fight. Heavy drinking and a sordid affair. Wow, a lot going on there. Mark Messier? I'm totally lost on what that is. Pictures or something would be helpful for that one. But they'd rather show us pictures of Marianne and Jim. Benny Hill's coming on at 11:30 in Michigan. Hot Shots crime drama. 70 minutes. Maybe 70 minutes just means extra commercials. All right, Wednesday, 1986. Celebrity Double Talk game show. Strike It Rich game show. 1 million chance of a lifetime. Magnum at 4. Who else, when they were a kid, tried to do the eyebrow thing that Magnum did in the opening? All right, so Wednesday night we got a CBS News special. Nobody's tuning into that. We got Magnum and the Equalizer. Got Game 4. Did they not take a night off? What are they doing? Perfect Strangers, Head of the Class. Nature of Things. Dempsey and Makepeace. So that's a British thing that you may or may not want to look up, but I saw something on YouTube where those guys were going crazy over this Dempsey and Makepeace kitschy thing from the 80s that you might want to look for. If you can't see it, it's spelled D-E-M-P-S-E-Y, and Makepeace is M-A-K-E-P-E-A-C-E. Probably fun. Dynasty and Hotel. Here's Perfect Strangers. Looks like ABC's putting some cool ads on here, and the other channels aren't even bothering. So we got some context from ABC, but not from the other channels. There we go, Head of the Class. What a great cast. Johnny Fever doing his thing. Let's see if we can find a Dempsey and Makepeace. Yeah, I don't know, but it's worth Googling, I think, based on what I saw on YouTube. Just kind of a different, weird, fun show. Here's Joan again. She's getting ads every night. Not showing us much else. Annie Potts is on Magnum PI. Where are my Annie Potts fans at? Stephen J. Cannell's on there. If you're from the A's, you know who Stephen J. Cannell is. Uh-oh, now I spotted one that I might have to look for now. Jennifer Grey's on The Equalizer. How do I dog-ear this page so I can look that up later? I mean, I'm all in for Jennifer Grey. If you're not, then you might want to have your head examined. 86, yeah, that's about the same time as Ferris Bueller, so she would have been a known actress. But making a guest star spot on The Equalizer. Who knew? We always learn something here, folks. And yes, any Jennifer Grey trivia is good. And we also got some Christina Applegate trivia, if you hadn't seen my other video. Some cartoon called Silverhawks, that kind of rings a bell. And it's still kind of hilarious that they had a Rambo cartoon, because he's basically like a one-man killing machine. Which is fine, you know, it's the 80s. Everything goes. Thursday night. So Cosby and then the World Series, so we're not getting that blockbuster Thursday night lineup, but we got Simon Simon, Knots Landing, Kay O'Brien. I think we saw that in another one. We got Our World, the Colbys in 2020. Yeah, let's check this out. How great is that? Yeah, Kay O'Brien. I've already forgotten what the plot is. Yeah, I don't know how long Simon Simon lasted, but it was a fun show, in my opinion. There's a, I think she's on, yeah, she's on the Colbys. She's a Colby. Looks like in Michigan you could watch like a Disney movie every night. That's kind of cool. If all the lakes are frozen up, you snuggle up, you watch a Disney movie. Some movie called Howling in the Woods. Don't recognize any of the names. World Series pregame. Yeah, Tracy Scoggins, I think that was her name. I'm sure some of you remember Tracy. I was an Emma Samms guy myself. And a Jennifer Grey guy. All right, Friday. What's going on Friday night? This looks pretty strong right here. Webster, Mr. Belvedere, Sledgehammer, Sidekick, Starman. That's about all you need right there. But most likely you are watching A-Team, Miami Vice, LA Law. Those were some of the top shows, especially Miami Vice and LA Law. A-Team was starting to fall off by then. And then we got a Garfield and Peanuts, Dallas, and Falcon Crest. Wow, that's a great lineup. Looks like the World Series is finally taking a night off. There's Sledgehammer. Yeah, ABC's going for it. Everybody else is just like, man, you gotta tune in and see it. Oh, okay, Great Pumpkins. So yeah, it's about that time. If it didn't come on this week, I guess it would be too late next week. So we got a Garfield special, Halloween, and of course we got the Great Pumpkin. That's fun. If you didn't have a TV guide, or if you weren't looking at it every day, though, you might just automatically flip on the A-Team and not even realize that you're missing some cartoons. That was the way it was back then. I don't know. Are you looking at these mugs and you're going to tune in? I mean, if we had Emma Samms on there, now we'd be tuning in. And then Joan Rivers again. All right, no big guest stars on Miami Vice this week. Let's see if they have Friday night videos coming on in 86 or not. Wow, look at all those names on LA Law. Too many names to read. Let's see, I think Friday night videos were in Michigan, so it might have come on earlier. Or maybe not. I don't see it. There we go, Friday night videos. And you know, 80s music, 80s videos. It was all brand new. We got Marky Post doing the hosting duties. We got videos by Aha, Journey, Aretha, Bananarama, Billy Idol. How great is that? Problem was you had to stay up till, if you were a kid, it was not easy to stay up till 12:30, and that's just when it started. You had to stay up till 2 a.m. for the whole show. But if you didn't have MTV, man, you were really wanting to stay up. Here's Patrick Duffy, Victoria Principal. He brings along a frog or a mannequin. Oh boy, what a trickster he is. People enjoying their VCR, cutting edge technology, watching Out of Africa. All right, folks, we got Dempsey and Makepeace. We got Jennifer Grey on the Equalizer. We got the Jump the Shark Kid. He was cute. This has been a pretty good one. Let's see what else we got here. Tartar Control, that was the big thing in the 80s. All right, October 1986. See you all next time.